No, there are some games that can end in, like, Rainmaker can end in 15 seconds. Splat zones can someone change the view? Yeah. Splat zones can end in about a minute. Clan Blitz can also end in 30 to 45 seconds. And Tower Control is the longest by all. The quickest you can end that is probably in about a minute and a half. But anyways, we're going to get into Camp Triggerfish, which is this Rainmaker. And it's all about that thing in the middle there, that Rainmaker. The super weapon, but also the Achilles heel. So they're going to be fighting over who can pop that first.
Oh,
and who can get the
it's Tommy's team. That's the team that's...
Yep, that's 670. So Spikefire is just kind of lying in wait, waiting for his team to clear out 670. And looking for his time to get in there, but unfortunately Demon Fox was lying in wait. Hey, so now it's a bit of a neutral exchange. Like, most of the teammates over there, that was 3 of them went down. And so Leaf and Colin McGuy can currently contest and take the Rainmaker a bit, but they have to keep both Tommy Z back there in Bay. Reverb is over there just getting some ink ready. And they also have to deal with Temp and Demon Fox. So Temp took the Rainmaker, and Demon Fox is supporting him with a... Reverb is actually supporting him with the Stingray. So that gives them a little time to put together a push and push it a little bit into the base, into Richie's base. But Richie doing a great job at defending.
Damn, I'm telling you, I'm so enamored by this camera. Whoop! Okay, there you go.
Glad you're tripping on the camera.
This map is really interesting and really key because it only looks like it's super linear with so many bridges that it's not as open as expansive as the last one.
Oh no, it is all... Yeah, it is.
I feel like this would make it potentially quicker, but it also seems bigger.
It does. It does make it a bit difficult because some weapons, like shorter, like the way the game is laid out with like some of the ramps and also the fact that it's just like certain hallways makes it so you're given some confined spaces. It's not good to be faced off with somebody hitting you from the other side with a long-range weapon that you can't contest because some weapons can't make the range over these gaps. Temp's just waiting there trying to take the Rainmaker, but he doesn't want to quite do it yet. He wants to clear out, get the bread a bit, and so they can make a proper push. But at the current moment, it's just a stalemate, waiting for somebody to pick off who. Currently, the anchor, Spikefire is going way deep, trying to paint a part, but Reverb's right there. Spikefire has kind of like left his team alone, and because of that, the Rainmaker's going to be taken, but Demon Fox still has it. I think Spikefire made a bit of a mistake going all the way to the back of the base without clearing out the other team members that were keeping his teammates at bay. But here he goes.
Oh wow, Spikefire, nice.
Yeah, he doesn't have any chill. He's gonna try and go straight for it at this point. Okay, there's Temp,
so the Rainmaker actually shoots stuff too, I didn't know that.
Yes, it's basically a big super weapon, but if anything, it's like...
Oh, Tommy's stuck up right behind him.
The best analogy I can give it is as if you're suddenly trading the frame data of, say, like Kirby for the frame data of about Ganon, because that's kind of what the Rainmaker is like. It's a big, super powerful weapon, but it has a huge charge time, and it decreases your movement speed. But as you can see, that doesn't really matter because they're making a huge push, and 670 has already taken the lead, and they're on the winner's side of this bracket. If they get a 3-0, it's it for Grand Finals.
Let's see how far they are in terms of the map size. Oh
yep.
My god, okay.
You can see from the points here. That's the points that 670 has made in. They have 32 points of distance remaining, whereas Richie's team over there has 71.
So the higher the number is actually the bad?
Yeah, the higher the number, the worse it is.
Oh, okay.
Because right there in the middle there where the Rainmaker respawn is 100. Right here is 100 for both sides. So Tommy just went in and got them all from behind, so they're flanked. Like 670 is just absolutely exerting pressure right now.
Oh,
down
go,
goes the anchor, down goes Kylums. One of the midline lines. It's only Spikefire and Richie left. And there's not too much they can do. Especially with that Booyah Bomb coming in. All right, Leaf is coming back. Managed to pop it. So they got to deal with Tommy Z and Reaver back there with the Splat Charger. Splat Chargers are snipers, as you can probably imagine.
Yeah.
And they can be quite annoying. One shot kills, just leaves a huge trail of ink, and generally comes with some of the best long-range specials in the game, like Stingray.
Ooh.
Yes.
There you go, 670 Temp, which is right there already with the...
Oh yeah, you never want to be caught by a roller. When a roller gets in close on you, it's one of the best slaying weapons in this entire game. You can see Temp's just lying in wait, waiting for his opportunity. That curling bomb didn't go quite as he planned it, probably. And they're okay, that was intentional. I'm going to tell you that.
Really?
That's intentional. If you take the Rainmaker and you die with it, it resets to the middle of the map. So say if it's way deep in your base by like 4 points in, it's actually a good idea to reset it so it's not you're not stuck in a position where you're so far behind, and one pop could A, kill your entire team, and B, end the game for you. Because if that Rainmaker explodes in your ink, it makes a huge explosion. That explosion, any blue person in that yellow explosion would have died immediately.
Whoa, okay.
So Leaf is going to try and take that Rainmaker, and she's all alone here. She needs some teammates to make a proper push, but and there they are.
There they are, yeah.
Now they really want to push away. They really want to get.
But she's getting backed up into a corner here.
She absolutely is, because they're going in straight in with the Lustre, but there's 2 people down. Oh no, the splashdown! Thankfully they avoid that. If that splashdown had hit, the Leaf would have been gone and this game would have been over. This is one of Spread's, like, let's get this Spread specialties. They are so good at making clutch combos like this. They did it twice, but unfortunately not this time.
I just learned halfway through the game that I could angle the controller for more cool like this. That is so cool. Huh? My camera control? Yeah. I had to check my phone halfway through, so I was like, uh-oh. But I mean, still, this is really cool. The fact that you can have like a spectator mode like this, something from Nintendo, they really imagined that this game could be an esports echelon kind of a game. I mean, remember the Switch reveal trailer, like that, how they had it in the arena? That
was fantastic.
Yeah, that was cool. So far, they've actually been keeping up with that mission statement and vision statement.
I will mention one thing for you, Zuko. Player kills are never an objective in this game for the most part, but there are many modes that, there are some modes here, 2 of these modes are more objective based, where other modes are very kill focused. Like tower control is probably the biggest mix of them. Rainmaker is a very kill focused one. You want to clear out your enemy's team so you can make a giant push and end the game as quickly as possible. Clam Blitz is also a bit more of a kill-focused one, because you want to get those 10 clams and you want to push into your enemy's base. So you want to clear them out so you can get in and get that touchdown with the basket.
Yeah.
With tower control, it's much more objective-based. You want to keep people on that tower. You want to move that tower. You don't necessarily have to be on that tower, because there's a bit of cooldown time where it'll keep moving before you have to get back on it again. So it's all about keeping that defense once you've gotten that slight 1-point lead.
I love all these different kind of game modes, of course. But like back in Splatoon 1, did they have all these same game modes, or were some added specifically for Splatoon 2?
There is one that is unique to Splatoon 2, and that is Clam Blitz.
Oh, Clam Blitz, okay.
Clam Blitz is the unique one. Starfish? All right, so. I know my stage, ye imbecile! It should be Splat Zones, isn't it? So here's Starfish main stage. We're gonna change the mode to Splat Zones. This is
just like covering the floor. I think is this one? No.
This is literally covering one certain section of the floor. If you've ever played domination in shooter games like Call of Duty, this is essentially what this is.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like tower control is literally payload from Overwatch.
Oh, okay.
That's how the best way to describe tower control. Everyone is good? Okay. I'm having to explain to people how Splatoon works. All right, so ready up, and once they're, so right now this is the phase where everyone picks their team comp of what weapons they go.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's why it's still got like question marks on it, or what?
Yeah.
Whatnot?
Unlike most shooting games where they let you make a class loadout yourself, you have to choose between already preset loadouts for certain weapons. So, and it's for 3 parts. You are able to, as far as perks go, like you remember Call of Duty how there was a perk system.
Yeah, I remember that.
You're in control of your perks because the gear that you wear, like your shoes, your head, and your things, those give you your main slots of gear and 3 sub-slots for each piece of gear. It allows you to control like what way you boost your inkling, what way you boost your weapons. But as for the set and the tools you're given, your toolkit, that's all you had to choose from your bargain bin of sets.
Wow. I had no clue the customization like this was so like...
It's limited in some ways and very expansive in some other ways.
Is that... That's not Meaver's post. No, there's no way. Meaver's dead.
Yes, actually.
Oh, that's the Inkopolis stuff, right? Yeah. Okay.
Fun fact for you, Splatoon 1 actually relied heavily on the Miiverse because you could look at people's art all the way. But since the Miiverse died in the Wii U version, they just Splatoon basically created their own version of it.
Oh, that looks like a really good weapon for this objective.
Oh, the Ink Brush can be an absolute great weapon for this kind of mode. It paints fast. It's a very good killing weapon, but it's very short on range. But
so when they're in control, they have to hold the control for 90, like the 100 seconds.
Yes, they have. Yes, and the thing is though, 2 points is actually equivalent. Like the thing is, those are not real seconds. Points, 2 or 3 points, disappear in the span of a second.
Oh, okay.
So
that's why it's like 88, even though they only held control of it for so long.
Yeah, they only held control for maybe about 5 seconds, and they're still going down. Like, 2 points is about 1 second, just a little less than that. So, as you can see here, switching over to 670, Richie's team, Let's Get This Spread, is currently holding that zone very tight. But one Booyah Bomb can make them lose the zone, so they've lost control. What happens here is, do you see this little number that's here, or just below, right?
Plus N.
That's their handicap. The fact that they lost their zone and they're given this little handicap. So that's the amount of points they have to go through before they can start counting down their actual timer.
Oh, that's 38. Oh
that's
my
38
God.
Because they got such a huge lead. So the more points you take off once you lose your zone, the more points you have to go through in the buffer before you can go back in.
That's why this game takes so long. I see.
Oh yes, it can take quite a bit of time. This happens also in Clam Blitz. Richie is weaving and bobbing himself away. He doesn't want to get killed, but he wants to keep that zone. So he's trying to keep himself Yeah, if he had been able to get a few more in there, he would have been able to make them lose the zone. But unfortunately, they're going to keep control and keep this up for another a good 5 seconds. They're going to keep control of the zone, and right about now, the lead is 670s. And right now, it's all about can they keep them out of the zone area. Like right now, Demon Fox is going straight after Richie. And
oh, whoa!
Fun fact about that special splashdown, it gets more powerful and more range the higher up you use it. So the fact that he jumped up there and used it meant that he got himself more range and more power. And this could be the end of the game right here, unless those bubbles get popped right now. Yes, they do! And suddenly they have a plus 72 there. Right at the last second, they get him in.
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
Oh. I'm spitting at this headset, and I'm sorry. But this can be some exciting stuff. Splatoon is probably one of the most fast-paced third-person shooters I know, and it's what makes it so great. Oh, and right now, they're going to use their Booyah Bomb to keep control. They want to desperately not lose that zone. And unfortunately, they lost control. But if Richie can, yep, Richie right there. Right back in there, painting that zone, keeping it under. And they have full control of middle right now. They have full control of the mid. This means they have full control of the neutral. Unless Demon Fox gets in there with his teammates and they start making a full raid and start killing up Spikefire and Richie, they are not going to be able to get in. So Tommy's going for higher ground. He wants to target Richie. He wants to get him down. And he looks like he's almost about to do it. And they got control. But they lost it just as soon because both of them went for the bubble special.
They have control now.
They do now have control. It's only reverb now. He's playing a bit of Dynamo there. That's a very interesting choice. Oh, but he's going to release the Booyah Bomb right into the base. He wants to try and thin out the enemy team, but he didn't take down anybody. Right now, this is quite neck and neck. They're each, all right, they're back in control. And they're putting out the bubbles to try and keep their control as much as possible. There you go. This is just a smorgasbord of specials being released here. They want control so bad. This is the exact definition of an even game in Splatoon. All right, now, oh, there goes Tommy Z. That is huge. The one teammate that was in the middle, they've gotten rid of. Now that's 670 making the climb back there. But successfully, they lost control for a second, but they lost it again. That's the thing. If you regain the zone that you just lost half of its ink, you don't get an extra timer. You keep that up, and that timer's going to remain the same. It's only when they take the zone away from you that that timer's going to go up again. And they just did it. They just did it. They are 670 is still in the lead. They're desperately trying to hold on to that zone. And they're doing such a good job right now because now they're in the middle. They have the higher ground. It's up to at the bread in less than 30 seconds to get that zone back and put down that 40-second 7 timer all the way down to 2. Demon Fox is already in there creating quite a bit of pressure. It doesn't look like they're getting out of there. But there's the bubble blower. Maybe Leaf can get something, but oh, Demon Fox sneaks behind them. Gets rid of their main weapon to get rid of that. And it looks like this is going to be the end for them. Yeah, they got it. So that's a 2-0 lead.
I really like this game mode because I didn't realize there was a timer at the top.
Yep, there is. I was explaining to Zuko in the back there. Each one of these game modes has a final limit timer. There is a 5th game mode called Turf War, but we don't talk about that one. That's our.
Well, I thought Turf 4 was like the main one that that everyone knows Splatoon 4.
Oh yes, it is the one that everyone knows Splatoon 4, but it's not necessarily the best for competitive. It's a bit arguable. Japan loves Turf War. North America does not like Turf War.
I wonder what's the whole controversy behind that.
Okay, so the thing is about Turf War is it's 30 seconds.
I'm giving this back to you in case you need to change settings.
It's instead of 5 minutes, it's a 3-minute long game mode, and it is all about who inks the most turf on the map.
Yeah.
That is like all the turf that is flat on the ground, not the walls. Yeah. All the turf that you ink there is what matters, because if you get more, you want to get the more of the percentage of turf inked. So that means you gotta take down some teammates to make sure that you keep control. Once you've inked like you want to ink your base first, you want to ink mid, and then you want to keep mid.
Yeah.
But the thing is in that it is a 3-minute mode, but also there are certain gear that is made to boost your ability to in the last 30 seconds. Turf War is one of the most volatile modes because anything can happen, and a lot of times people feel that only the last 30 seconds of Turf War matter, because all it takes for you to win Turf War by 0.1% is make one final rush at the very last 10 seconds, and you could win the entire game.
Okay, that's why I can understand that.
And gear is made specifically. There are main perks of gear made specifically to help you with that. Last Ditch Effort is one that increases your ink efficiency, your ink recovery, and your movement speed, all for the last 30 seconds.
Okay, yeah. No, I can understand that.
Yeah, sometimes if it gets close enough, RNG is used to decide a winner. So
That's
it's not
really
always fair.
Yeah, and I also think it's just more engaging to watch people push for objectives as opposed to just like...
Oh, it absolutely is. It's, what?
Tower control.
Tower control? All right, yep. So now we just need to know what map they want to do.
Wait, no, wait.
13 minutes until they're here.
No, here. Alex, one more time.
They haven't decided on their map quite yet. Albacore? The next page? All right. There it is. New Albacore Hotel. This is actually one of the most recent maps.
Oh.
Yeah, it was recently added, I think, in 4.0 patch.
Oh, so it says we're ready, though, right? Okay, good.
Yeah, I just got to click ready. Teams are all set in the teams that they should be.
Yeah, looks good.
All right, so now it's just up to them to pick their comps. Albacore is a bit of a large map.
Do you have to push ready again?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me.
No, don't worry.
So Albacore is a very interesting kind of map because what it is like some maps, it's separated by a river in between, and the only way to cross over is through grades or jumping over through certain points. So right there, the grades are basically dead zones. If the team has a vantage point on you, you could easily get sniped out or taken down in that time.
Oh, okay.
So,
do you like this map? Do you think this map's like?
It's interesting. It's very interesting because you can absolutely terrorize people once you get past that middle part. But it's also but it can also be for certain game modes incredibly it's a fairly balanced map. Splatoon's very good at keeping their maps balanced, but it's very screwy with certain things. Like run speed becomes very important in this map because you're going on a lot of surfaces you can't ink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're always going to be going slow. There's tons of surfaces in here you can't ink, and therefore you can't just swim into them. There's a lot of walls you can't go up, and when you finally get into their base, you're dealing with them all having quite a high amount of ground, but sometimes that works against the enemy team. Because when they have so much high ground, you can kind of just sneak under the wall and they can't hit you, or their weapons aren't made to shoot from so far up that it messes with their accuracy.
Alrighty, here we go.
Yeah. So, especially in tower control, tower control is going to be very interesting.
I think someone has to change it. Yeah.
There
you go.
Yep. All right, Mr. Cameraman. So right now.
Oh, it's 670 is winners. If they take this, then that's going to be it.
Oh yeah, this is it. This is it if they take it. You can see in the layout, it's sort of like a bigger version.
What are we trying to do here?
What you're trying to do is in the middle right there is a tower. This is the one that I told you is like Overwatch's payload. Okay. What you want to do is you want to ink that tower, and then you want to get on it and stay on it. It'll move towards your enemy's base to a little patch right there. If it gets to that patch, you win.
Oh.
It's basically a moving capture the flag.
Okay, that makes sense.
So right now they're just protecting around the tower, but Demon Fox is taking it, and he's going to try, and he successfully takes down Strikefire. Now Tommy's joining him. The tower...
Oh, that's so cool.
Now, keep in mind, these things right here, these are checkpoints, and And right there, the tower will have to stay still, and there's a certain amount of time that you have to spend on them before they'll move.
Then they lost it, and it's come back, and then they took it again. Oh my god.
Yep. Now they have to wait down that little timer there, that amount of points, otherwise they're not going to move. And once they get past that checkpoint, it disappears. They don't have to worry about it again if it's forced all the way back to the middle.
Oh, they're past the checkpoint though. Ooh.
And now the checkpoint's gone. If this tower is forced back into the middle, they don't have to wait for that checkpoint anymore.
Okay, I really like this game mode. This game mode looks really cool.
It is absolutely fantastic. It's a fun one. It can be very stressful, but it can also be very, very fun.
Oh, and it seems to me like Spikefire. He's able to take it back.
Now, one of the most interesting tidbits about...
Oh, it's going back.
Now, one of the most interesting tidbits about tower control versus payload in a comparison is A, the pad that you're on is far smaller. In fact, that little grading area, if you turn into your squid form, you will fall right through it and you will get off the tower.
Okay, yeah.
You have to keep on that inked patch.
I like what Spikefire's got here.
Oh yeah, he's got the inkjet there. Technically speaking, when he's in the air on his inkjet there, he's off the tower, so he's not helping it move. So if he wants to do that, he has to get back on it. Now, one of the most pivotal pieces of the tower is that little pyre on the top of it, that thing, because that's an uninkable surface that you can hide behind. You can actually move around and camp behind that one surface and keep control of the tower, making it incredibly hard if you don't have like a burst weapon, like a blaster, to hit them, because you can't hit them dead on.
So why is there a missing like green square at the top for like Leafs team?
Remember how I was telling you about how once they get that checkpoint, it disappears?
Yeah, okay.
That's what I meant. Because now they don't have to worry about that checkpoint anymore. They won't stop in place unless they get off the tower. They can just move on to the next checkpoint.
Oh, and that's purple team that doesn't have to stop. Okay.
Yeah, because they already made it that far. So it's an easy push for them to get back in.
Okay.
It's a very momentum-based game.
That's so hard to stay on, I feel like.
Yeah, it can be tricky at times.
This is why you play the campaign.
The campaign doesn't actually have a lot of missions where you'd use the tower control. It's all just practice online. And right there you can see, look at the weapons that they currently have. Right now we have, like, you can probably see, on 670's team, they have a ink brush, a sloshing machine, and a dynamo roller. These are all weapons that don't shoot straight ahead, but they shoot upwards at an angle.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Allowing you to hit that tower from when you're not on the higher ground. As for the Splattershot Pro, it has one of the most useful bombs for this, called the suction bomb, which basically you remember those little sticky things you stick on the wall or on the glass to hold something, like?
Yeah.
It sticks on you, and then after 2 seconds, it'll explode. So you stick that on top of the tower, and you force people to get off it. All right, so right there, that's one of the best things about the ink brushes. They move very fast they act like rollers, except much smaller. And when you have the ink brush down, they can move just as fast as they usually would on grates. It doesn't slow them down.
Oh, it doesn't slow them down? Oh,
no, it doesn't. So right there, he's going to throw down Splat Bomb, trying to get a pressure, but unfortunately, Richie is up there on the higher ground, so they are really stopping them 670 from getting any further than this court.
On the high ground.
But they have to make a desperate push, because you see the difference in points here. To get the spread, Richie's team only has 86 points remaining, while 670 still has 47, and it's almost 45 seconds left on this mode. Right now...
And there's no kind of comeback mechanic, it looks like.
No, it's actually much harder to make a comeback if you haven't made a long push, you haven't gotten rid of a checkpoint.
Man, and their entire team died.
Their entire team just got aced. So this is looking very grim for them. They have to very quickly get rid of 670 and go for that tower. If they get that tower when this timer runs out, they go into overtime. But it doesn't look like that's happening because 670 just has total control of their side of the map. You see, it's nice that you have all that vantage point to do some killing, but it's not nice because it prevents you from moving forward, because once you get down there on this map, you're in the middle of the Wolf's Den. And that's exactly what just happened. They were cornered into their base. And that is going to be the end of Splatoon for Nintendo Fest. 670, I think for their second or third time, take the medals and take first place.
That's crazy.
In this tournament.
I mean, I wonder if the game stage was going to do anything.